weekly update. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna do an ESPM for you all using the Rider. Oh no, this is the Tea Leaf Fortune. We are gonna pull out the Rider Tarot deck because it has been calling me like, hello. Oh man, it's upstairs, but I gotta use the mini one. But it was like, hello, can we talk to you? And I was like, about what? And it was like, we got something to say. I was like, what you got to say? What you got to say? He's okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, so this is the ESPM. So we got, for your emotional, we have pen, new job, career. New job, career. Some of you guys are stepping into a role. I know for sure that I am personally stepping into a new role, so this has a strong application for me. But this pen is just kind of like a piercing of, like a new situation that you're going to be, a piercing of a new life, a new entity that's being like kind of manifested, but it's also been something that you have been prepared for. Like your career really is going to always involve what you've done in the past in some instance, or basically in some instance. Okay, so you've already probably done micro things like this before, but they are now going to be in a macro way. Especially, for it to be an emotional thing. So you have to be like emotionally tied to your job. You have to be emotionally dedicated to, et cetera, et cetera. So we have, for your spiritual, we have teardrops, great personal sorrow. Okay, so spiritually, you feeling like you felt the sorrow of, and I wish I had my phone here, but basically sorrow, is a deep sadness, okay? So spiritual is a deep sadness. So if you felt like you were not spiritually being heard, called, or praised in some aspect, because a lot of people assume that spirituality is equivalent to religion, and religion is a force of praise to another deity outside of yourself. Spiritual is a internal praise to the deities that assist you with that confidence that you possess. Okay, so then we have physical, we have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something that you want. So that's physical. Okay, that's like cheese. I said, quit being. If you talk to me while I'm filming, I'm gonna have to reply. You can put cheese on your eggs, bro. He's so extra. Okay, so that's physical. So that's just like in a physical life. Someone does not want you to have that triangle, that dynamic, that happiness, okay? Because it's mind, body, spirit. So someone does not want you to have your mind, somebody does not want you to have your body or your spirit to be in bliss by some aspect, okay? Someone is always going to try to take from you what they do not have within themselves. If they don't have peace, then they're not going to want you to have peace. So that's the first thing they're going to try to steal. If you don't have essence, you don't have like youthful essence, that's the first thing. If that person doesn't have youthful essence, then that's the first thing they're going to try to take from you. If that person does not have mindfulness, then they're going to try to take your mindfulness, okay? So just know that. And then we have bag and the mental. So this is your mind. Something important such as a new job or raise. So that right there, your emotion, you make more by being emotionally aware. You make more by being emotionally attuned. Like your bag gets bigger because you are attached to the entire entity, the entire figure, the entire company. You're an asset to the company. Okay, so just keep that in mind, emotionally, spiritual, and mentally. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Rider Tarot deck. It's so mini, so cute. So we got that. I guess I shouldn't do that because I know I've been playing with my hair all this whole time unnecessarily. Okay, so here we go. Okay. So we got the Hierophant, okay? So this is in your emotional space. So just to clarify, this is about you having the self-knowledge of the company. So you know how the question they always ask you in interviews, and some of you guys, before you guys go on an interview, maybe just brush up on that. But some of the questions that you had in the interview or have in the interview, et cetera, we got the Hierophant. So that's like doing company research. That's like doing entity research. That's like doing emotional research for yourself. Emotional, not labor, but emotional like assistance, okay? Emotional assistance. So this job is going to require you to have emotional sensitivities, to be in tune with your emotional sensitivity. So just keep that in mind, okay? So then we got the Two of Swords, okay? So this is that. I feel like this was a short term. You had a short term spiritual sorrow for a long term spiritual happiness. Okay, you couldn't see it because you were blindfolded. You had, blinders over you. Your vision was not as highly as acute as you wanted it, but you also did not want to believe it. In some resonance, you also didn't want to believe it. You did not want to believe that you were grateful or deserving of the spiritual upgrade. Okay? And we mean spiritual because that means I know as much as you spiritually. I also have experienced as much as you spiritually. Okay? So, like, the company meets you where you're at, and you meet the company where it's at. Okay? So then we have the Knight of Cups. All right, so that wedge, it's that apology. So someone comes through just to divide you, just to reunite you. Okay, so divide you, reunite you. Divide you, reunite you. Physically. So it takes you away from another job just to give you another job. Then you say, oh, this is kind of like the same job. That type of thing. Okay, so then we have the moon. Oh, this is the star card, right in your mental. So the star card is that illumination, that recognition, that high, yes, plain, another one, that one came to my mind. Okay, so some of you guys need to put yourself out there, really be the star card to your own vibration, to your own, external, they always say, like, if I get this, I'm gonna be happy. If I get this, I'm gonna be happy. If I do this, I'm gonna be happy. If I do this, I'm gonna be happy. No, you're happy just by being happy. No, you shine, you're healing because you're doing the healing, So that's a mental thing. When you apply that affirmation to yourself, you get that affirmation to yourself. Okay? Plane, a bus, another plane. That's it. Uh-oh, get your ass up. Oh, right here it says ladder, climbing towards success. So there's the confirmation in the middle of the deck. Which anytime you guys think about, like, when you guys are wanting to know something, just go like this in the middle of your deck. So it says frying, trouble, accusations. Because it's going to be really important for you to be able to double and triple check. Okay, so we got broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. So we talked about that, going in the mental again with the star, especially the Hierophant. So you no longer have a contract with certain people. You no longer have a contract with that, and this, just because of that, and that. She said, it backfired, but there was like, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay, because she's right. Don't police her page. That's what saved your ass. And she was like, can you not police my page? Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So now spiritually, you have to use that antenna. You have to use that. How'd you know that? I said because I know everything. I don't know everything, but I know most. And everything wear your crown. So when you wear your crown, and that's one of my favorite statements, and everything wear your crown, because that unicorn, that abnormality that you feel or sense spiritually, like, it's like smelling a burning building before the building burns, and then showing up with a fire truck. It's not that you can prevent the fire. It's not that you can prevent the fire. You just know that the fire truck is near. Do you understand? You just know that the brr, brr, brr is right there. Just for the extra sensory. Everyone has a third sense. Everyone has a sixth sense. I remember I will never forget going to see that movie in theaters. And I was like, I fell asleep, but I watched it again when I was older. But I always remember going and remember the part I fell asleep on. I was like, I don't need to watch this now. Like, I don't need to watch this now. So we have crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Oh, the conception. Physically, some of you guys could be getting a baby. You got the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is also slow sex to me. So if you ever experience a nice cup and you're doing like a sexual like reading or meditation, you know that you have the ability to communicate those type of forms of knowledge, okay? But also that form of intimacy. So we got crib. So it says, or enterprise. So you can be bringing very new ideas to the company and how it's going to expand. So you're going to be an asset. So the crib is an asset, okay? The baby is an asset. So we have torch. Physically. So we have torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. So this is mentally. This is mentally. You have an understanding. So like I said, when you apply that healing and you apply that feeling, you're able to have a stronger form of navigation through, you know, your own galloping, in a sense, going back to the horse. Okay? So then we have the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck of this right here. So that means you understand the long pressure. You understand the long term. You understand the wellness of. You understand the spiritual maintenance of. Okay? So if you have to paint your nails on this day, paint your nails on this day because you're feeling you need a moment to. If you have to, take a long 2-hour bath this day, it's because you need to. If you have to drink 7 cups of coffee, it's because you have to. Okay? I was telling everybody on Twitter, I was like, do not drink coffee to start your day. Drink coffee to manifest your way. Okay? Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands. A lot of people do not drink coffee to live. First and foremost, a lot of caffeine is just crazy. But, whatever. But secondly, that is like a very powerful spiritual tool, coffee. So if you're using it to wake up, you're not going to live. If you're using it to wake up, you're not going to live. If you're using it for enjoyment, then you can use it as a manifestation tool. So you guys look up coffee beans. Your ancestors used to use it. You guys look up saving your coffee. That's why doing coffee scrubs are really essential, because they really that caffeine really wakes up your skin, but it's also a great exfoliator. I think the brand is called Franken Body. So those type of things really help accentuate your spiritual tools, but also your spiritual knowledge. Okay. So then we got Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Okay, so when you get that, what did it say? The broken ring with the whole Ace of Cups is because that was going to be like, it broke to get more. It raised to get raised. Okay, it raised to get raised. Like, remember we talked, I don't know if this was the video, but I have a video somewhere where I talked about, you see how he has a little raise coming beaming from his hand. If you guys got this deck, look at it. But he has little beams raising from his hands, like Reiki. So some of you guys need to be doing Reiki. So then we have the Six of Wands. So that recognition spiritually is what the upgrade is. So it's like, oh snap! I finally get to go on this ride. I finally get to sing out with my soldiers. I finally get to do this. People who had those awarenesses that you did not have before this. You're like, oh, this makes me feel more, This makes me do more, It's like, it's just kind of like an excitement that you have with your spiritual self, because you're like, the more I know, the more I want to do, wisely. You're like, oh, this could be harmful to myself or this could be great. I mean, everything has a duality, but I feel like the 3 and 3 really balance everything that you are looking for in yourself and with your priorities, okay? Spiritual priorities, your spiritual maintenance. So then we got Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we got 2 knights in your physical. 2 knights in your physical? 2 knights? 2 knights in your physical. So you get a Knight of Pentacles. What do you mean? That means you're getting something that's going to come slow, but fast, but romantically. Okay? So we talked about that. Remember, this is under the birth and conception. So it's like, a baby comes fast. It grows up fast. But it be baking in your oven so long. It's like 9 months, you know? Excuse me. But it's also like 9 months. So it's like you go through a cycle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because you could really have a baby at 8 months, but 9 months is like the time where it bakes and be like, I'm perked up. I'm all perked up. All right, so then we got the Knight of Wands. So another knight coming in. Because it's like, this is the sex, this is the mental, this is I gave you that manifestation, that healing. Like, let's have sexual healing. Because the Star card and the Knight of Wands is sexual healing. Okay, so how that will look physically is, Lord willing. Okay, so that on that. All right, so that's you guys' ESPM for today. I'm going to give you this just to see what we're talking about with this. Let's see. We're gonna give you 2 cards for your masculine and feminine. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Death card. So you can either be dealing with a Scorpio, but also the Scorpio could be telling you what to eliminate here very soon. It's like, get rid of that. Don't do that. Get rid of that too. No, don't do that no more. Just go ahead and get rid of that too. So we got the 3 of Swords. Okay. This is on this side, the emotional, spiritual side. 3 of Swords. That's your feminine. It's my left hand, feminine side. So it's like that 3 of Swords is like, think about the past, present, and future. What really got you to do something? What got you to do something? What made you do something? Because 3 of Swords is that question before you do. What made you do something? About it, to it, for it, and without it. About it, to it, for it, and without it. About it, to it, for it, and without it. Write those 4 questions down. About it, to it, for it, and about it. And without it, I apologize. So then we got the Star card. So that's double star energy. So it's like, you're a star, I'm a star, we're all stars. All stars. All stars. All stars. All stars. All stars. So the masculine's like, you a star, baby. They treat you, it's like you asking for a man to treat you like a star, and you are a star. Even if you won't become nobody. Not like nobody, but even if you don't become the somebody that you want to be, that person treats you like the star player in their life, as you should treat your partner like the star player in your life, no matter how many partners you have. Okay, Knight of Wands, night. So that sounds like 3 men that brings different things. One brings you slow love, passion, etc. The other one brings you money, long-term investments, etc. The other one brings you good. Okay? So you got those 3 for those reasons. The emotional passion, the emotional and spiritual passion, the physical and financial assets, and then we got the the healing, the sexual compatibility, etc. So anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next reading on Thursday.